won't be here with us today. You know, I always start out with both. So today I'm going to start out with my man Amir Drake, aka Ice. How you feeling, my friend?
I'm good, man. And let's do it. Let's cook.
All right, cool. I like that. I like that. Now we're going to go to the young and talented Mr. Courtney Chappelle. How you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. I don't got no haircut, so I'm disappointed in that. But besides that, I'm good.
I got you. I got you. And now we got to go to the last but not least, but the man who makes sure everything is on point and everything looks professional. We'll go with the professional, my man D Stanfield. How you doing today?
I'm all right, man. Hopefully, it goes a little bit more professional than it did last week. So,
Woo-wee. Yeah, shout out to Teddy Riley with those technical difficulties. But listen,
well,
guys, I gotta start with the money. And when I say money, I'm talking about my man Money Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes just signed the richest deal in U.S. sports history, man. I can't wait to unpack this. I can't wait to see what y'all guys have for this one. Hey, young and talented, I'm gonna start with you, man. What do you think about this Patrick Mahomes contract? And did he just set the precedent for all young and talented quarterbacks coming up in the league? Talk to me about this contract, man.
Um, Shout out Pat. Shout out Pat Mahomes. That's a long term. He set the bar high. A few years down the line, 5, 6 years down the line, the money will change up again. We should only expect it to continue to go up. Things should relatively get back to as normal as possible, whatever the new normal will be. Um, so he might want more money on the back end of that, but you could get pretty much all your money up front. If you could set the table for the next 10 and the team want to do it, why not? Like, shout out to Pat Mahomes. Shout out to Pat Mahomes. I don't he set the bar for the youngest. He deserved it. He brought a title there. Within his first contract, this is how you treat somebody who comes and, changes the franchise like that. He showed you that it's franchise player. They didn't have one. He took the reins and here it go. That's how you pay somebody. Shout out to Kansas City for doing it. First, it shocked me. I'm still shocked on that part. I know I'm not saying a lot right now, but I'm still shocked at the Kansas City part. Like, I didn't see them doing it.
Okay.
Shout out to them.
Okay, and I'm gonna go to the professional next. Like during our preparations, we kind of talked about how the contract was structured. It's very team friendly in the beginning. His base salary for 2020 is only 825,000. Funny, I said only. 2021 is 990,000. So very very team friendly in the beginning. So unlike when my man Flacco got paid, it's not gonna put handcuffs on the team. But Mr. Professional, man, talk to me. How do you feel about this contract? Is it as earth shattering as it looks to be?
thanks for stealing my narrative.
Okay. Is that all you had to say? Is that all you had to say? Did I steal your thunder that quick?
Are you frozen?
Was it that easy? Yeah, okay. It looks like D
He gotta be
is
frozen.
frozen with a smile. Well,
Yeah, he's frozen with a smile. Cool.
Ice, go ahead and talk to me, man. How do you feel about this contract? Is it as earth shattering as we see it?
He would smile about it. He's called.
I love this deal.
Okay.
To me, Pat Mahomes is proven in such a young career, but he's proven. To me, I believe he's the best player in the NFL right now.
Word?
And we proved that last year he got the ring, So, man,
Ice, you got him as the best player in the NFL?
I got him as the best player in the league, bro. Already.
Okay.
He better than Lamar?
He's better than Lamar, yes.
What? Well, Lamar, we ain't beat him yet. So
he's better than Lamar, man. He got
can
the ring. Like I can't not say he's not.
Okay.
He's got the numbers.
Okay.
He's got the stats.
He better than Aaron?
He's got the ring.
I'm just giving out names. Whether I feel about people or not, I'm just better than Aaron, better than Tom.
He's the best player in the NFL right now. Now, what I don't want to happen, I don't want Dak asking for $500 million. That's what I don't want.
What you don't want?
I don't
Dak
want
Prescott
Dak asking for $400 or $500 million.
Yeah, Dak, you not Dak, you not that.
You're not that. Yeah,
You not that, Dak.
you're not. You're not that.
Yeah.
You're not that. And you know, Court. We already talked about this. He should have took the 130 mil.
I,
But
look, you
now,
deserve some money, but you can't even get crazy and dare
yeah.
to talk about that.
Now you know it's some players that get out of line, and I wish Dak would say, "Hey, man, Pat got 500. Man, I need at least three." No, my G. Pat earned that bread,
Pat
and the
earned
fact
that, Brad.
and the fact that he's leaving open space for the next 2 seasons because he knows they have a chance to have a dynasty. They can be the next Patriots of
Who?
this era.
Who?
The Chiefs. The Chiefs. If they're able
You
to
think so?
sign everybody, that's why his contract is like the way it is. These next 2 years, you're gonna have boys' contracts coming up. Hill's contract is coming up, I think. So you know, like the pieces that he has, that's why he's freeing up that money. He's making under $1 million for the next 2 years. So he's basically going to be living off of endorsements these next 2 years. So when his money starts to roll in, when that 50 plus million or whatever he's getting a year comes in, they roster's still going to be able to be stacked. And they might even be able to get somebody else, because the money is there. For the next 2 seasons, it's going to be real interesting watching the Chiefs moves. But I love this deal.
Okay, and that's a good segue. We got the professional back. I know you dug into the deal, so tell me what you think about it. The first 2 years, bonus money, all that good stuff. Break
Nice,
it down for me.
nice way to freeze out too.
I know.
Jesus
Irv,
is king.
Irv, yo, I got two fingers that I want to throw at you right now, but I'm gonna
I can't
save
hear
them
you.
till later. Oh shoot. Well, don't worry about it, man. Listen,
he, team can hear him.
Okay, gotcha.
I think y'all pretty much covered everything that I would have said about the deal. Team friendly, able to sign other people. I think Ice was dead on with where he was going with it in terms of the fact that as if they can shore up their defense on top of signing their specialty players, man, it looks ugly for the rest of the league. So I mean, I appreciate it, and the fact that even in the midst of him not getting heavy salary for the next 2 years, his incentives are still crazy. So he could still make well over 2 million over these next 2 years, and then go nuts in year 3 to year 10. So it is what it is.
Okay, okay. I hear you. And I'm gonna go to the comments because the comments is starting to get lit because we talking about that money. Shout out to Donovan Samuels. He said, "Irvin, you're biased, aren't you a Ravens fan?" Absolutely. And he said, "If so, your opinion is biased towards Lamar." Listen, yes, I feel like I am kind of biased. Lamar is one of my favorite players, but I feel like Lamar and Pat is going to have a nice rivalry coming up. But not even to get too deep into that. Back to this contract, man. Courtney, do you feel like the precedent is now set? I know y'all jokingly brought up Dak Prescott, but is this going to be the standard for the young, talented, up and coming quarterbacks in this league? Like, could the Joe Burrows, the Tuas, the Lamar Jacksons, could they expect this?
Corey, you
Hey,
on mute?
Courtney, you on mute, bro?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Y'all can hear me better now? All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad. I'm gonna say it again. No, no, no. Hell no. Hell no, it's not the principle set. No, this is what was set. The precedent that was set was sprinkles are for winners. Feel me? You want that type of money, you want that type of contract, go get a Super Bowl. If you don't have a Super Bowl, excuse my language, please shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
Sprinkles are for winners. Go get your ring, and then you could come talk that big money talk. Outside of that, shut up and play your part, player.
Okay, and also in the NFL, when you see a lot of long-term deals, a lot of those deals are backloaded, and it's an opportunity for to get cut and lose some of your money. Ice, have you had an opportunity to look at some of these guarantees, and do you feel like this contract could suffer some of those same setbacks?
his guarantee is by far the best guarantee I've seen. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I mean, if we just talking strictly Mahomes, like his guarantee, I'm with it. You know, this is my field now, so that's a win-win. Now you got other guarantees that people felt was questionable. You know, like a couple quarterbacks that's in the league right now who got questionable guarantees.
Who you
But
talking about? Put a name on it. Who you talking about?
hey, man,
Who you
hey,
talking
we got Matt Ryan. That's one. You got possibly the best receiver in the league, and you can't get him the ball. Like,
about? Okay.
but you got 100 M's. You swimming in the money. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, like that's just. I mean,
No, but
him just that example right there alone. Like,
okay.
you
You at
got
the
a
Matt
hundred
Ryan.
M's
Okay. Okay.
guaranteed. Like, they
Okay.
got nothing to show for it. Blew a Super Bowl.
What about Aaron's guarantee?
I mean, Aaron's proven, but
He ain't been proven in a. He been. When the last time he proved
you
something?
just said he got a ring.
Oh
He got
man. Oh
he
man.
got
Oh
a
man.
ring. He
Okay.
got a well, hey, he got a ring.
He got a ring. He
And
got a ring.
Aaron's consistent with
Aaron's
his
consistent
numbers,
with his numbers.
but I mean,
Okay.
I would have gave Aaron that bread before I gave Matt
Matt
Ryan.
Ryan at Brad.
If that makes any sense,
Yep.
you
Make
know?
perfect sense.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like Aaron's been the top
All right.
dog.
What about Tannehill? Tannehill money.
No,
No.
never,
No. Okay.
no,
Tannehill don't
never.
get that contract Tannehill just got.
He shouldn't have got that.
Okay.
Not the guarantee.
Not
Not
the
the guarantee.
guarantee. Not
No.
the
I mean,
guarantee.
I think Kirk Cousins probably set that Tannehill
Kirk
market,
Cousins set the
or
Kirk Cousins set the
quarterbacks in
bar.
that ilk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Kirk.
So
and that's
Okay.
and that's another reason why I look at these these average quarterbacks are getting this big money with this guaranteed money, but you got Cam that's on a vet minimum deal, Cap not even in the league. Like, hey man,
I,
I
I
don't want
think
to turn it. I don't want to turn it into that, but I think we know. I think we know what I'm talking about.
I think Cam needs to fire his representation. But D, you up? Can we hear you now?
I don't know. Can you?
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
can hear
Yes,
you
sir.
now. Now D,
Oh well, praiseth be this to the Lord.
hey, Courtney, what's the saying?
Jesus is king, man.
Jesus is king.
Jesus is king, man.
Yeah, but you had made a good point, D, in preparations where you talked about how Kansas City shored this deal up before his deal was actually finished. Can you kind of speak to that and
Yeah,
break that down for the team?
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like they did what they were supposed to do to help each other out. I feel like Patrick Mahomes took a Tom Brady model and and perfected it. He helped out the team on the front end, and then he killed it on the back end. And what that allows you to do is that allows you two things, really three things, but I don't need to get into the third thing. It allows you to sign your skill players over the next 2 years because your cap friendly salary cap, it looks great, but then on top of that, it allows you to draft with a free mind and a clear heart in an attempt to shore up that defense so that you can contend for Super Bowls and not just be searching for playoff contention when people start to fall off the ranks. I mean, I think that everybody knows for the most part that Kansas City's issues have never really been since Andy Reid's been there. It's never really been on the offensive side. It's always been on the defensive side. So now they have the backfield shored up. They have the skill players. They just need to re-sign them. If they can draft smart, they can literally, to what Ice was saying, they could literally build a dynasty with that scenario. Um, I I do. hmm, I think that the bag that I think that the bag that they gave Kansas City, I mean that they gave Patrick Mahomes, could potentially come to bite them at the end if they come and try to restructure that, like most people think that they will. So we'll see if Pat Mahomes is more like Brady at the end or more like, I don't know, Cam at the end, but we'll see.
And no, time will tell. And I'd also like to kind of segue that to another bag. I was going to go to Deshaun Watson and Dak. Like, do you feel like these guys are next to sign these long term contracts, or do you feel like they could end up like Jameis and Cam Newton, ending up on these minimal deals, minimal prove it deals after these deals are done? I see you shaking your head, young and talented.
Why
Talk
is
to me
Jameis in
about
the
that.
conversation?
Huh?
Because Jameis signed a virtually minimum deal as well, or a very low deal as compared to somebody who was coming off of being a first round overall draft pick. You think that his second contract, especially after throwing 30 touchdowns, now I know he threw 30 interceptions, would be a little more lucrative than what he did. But I understand him taking a backup role and learning the situation.
Sprinkles
But
are
Are
for
for winners.
winners. You
I
hear
mean,
me?
Jameis Winston is essentially the black Baker Mayfield.
Sprinkles
Oh.
are for winners. You hear? I'm gonna get you. You hear the phrase? Deshaun Watson can get that money if Deshaun Watson go beat Deshaun Watson. I believe he's that type of player. I believe he deserves that type of money, but I also believe he deserves that type of franchise that is willing to buy in all in on him and do what's necessary for him to be the best version of himself. These
Facts.
players will have to stop always thinking about the bag and thinking about their resume. Your resume will
Mm,
get you the bag.
facts.
Sprinkles are for winners. You know that organization ain't getting right, bro. Time to get up out of there. What's up? Why are we making it so hard? So let's stop sugarcoating it for these
Yo,
players.
let's
Go
stop
ahead,
acting like let's stop. You know what, Courtney? Let's stop acting like the Houston Texans weren't once the Houston Oilers. They didn't get it done then. So why are we trying to change the narrative around this? You're just putting a new shell around a Dodge Neon. Let's keep it real. It's still a Dodge Neon under the hood, B. Like, stop it.
Wow.
Y'all want to
And
make
you
excuses for these dudes. I like these dudes. I like their talent. I like their ability, and I respect their mind. They are smarter than this. They are taking the bag and allowing the excuse to be their organization. You know, we all work with people we know that if we had the kind of power and money that they had, we either gonna leave this company or they gotta get from around me. One or the other, bro. Like,
y'all make some excellent points, and everybody who's tuning in, you are listening to Fresh Perspective, part of the Rise Up Sports family in conjunction with OnPoint Television. And speaking of the bag, guys, I really got to touch on something real quick, and I got to make a quick pivot. Um, I got to start this out because I'm gonna bring up Jamel Hill, and we got to touch before you guys start. I love Jamel Hill. Been a big fan of her from her 12 years on ESPN. I was sad when she left ESPN. I've even met Jamel Hill personally, and I was tongue tied when I met her. That's how much present this young lady has. But Courtney, I got to start with you. Now, she was very, very critical of Jay Z when he created a partnership with the NFL. Now, what she's trying to do with bringing Cat's story to light, partnering with ESPN. I mean, is she doing the same thing that Jay did? Hey, Courtney, I'm gonna let you cook on this first, man. Talk to me about Jamel Hill and her Kaepernick project in partnership with ESPN. Okay, looks like Courtney is kind of frozen on this subject. So, Ice, I'm gonna start with you, man. How do you feel about how do you feel about Jamel Hill and her Kaepernick project and her partnership with ESPN?
Uh,
Man, this is tough, man. I'm such a big fan of Jamel Hill, but at the same time, man, it's very hypocritical in my eyes because how do you come at Jay for trying to put knowledge out on the to the NFL, trying to give knowledge to the NFL, but you come back around and you basically sign a deal with ESPN, the company that treated you like like dirt when you was there. Like I just don't get it. Like I mean I want to see how this plays out. I'm definitely gonna tune in, but I mean she took the opportunity for the bag, which I'm not mad at. Just don't be a hypocrite about the situation. Like
Mhm.
that's my only thing. Don't be a hypocrite. You went nuts on Jay-Z on Twitter, online, like, but now look at you in the same situation he's in.
Interesting. And now I'm gonna pose this to you, D. Now, could it be just the whole climate of everything is changing now, where Cap was once considered in the media world a pariah? Now he is considered, on the right side of history. Is this a situation where it's just showing a change in the times, or do we got to hold our beloved Jamel Hill accountable for going in on Jay and then doing the exact same thing?
Yo, did you just clap on some Kevin Hart type with the? Yo, did you? Yo, listen. This. First of all, let me just say this to all y'all media outlets that's not bringing attention to this. Y'all full of shit. Y'all full of shit. Because if this was turned around and Jamel Hill had garnered a deal with Netflix first, and then Jay-Z ripped her apart, and then Jay-Z's NFL deal came right behind that, y'all would be trying to tear him a new one. So yo, y'all full of shit. Real talk, man. This entire story, the fact that the media is not talking about it, has been burning, like it's been eating me up. Me and Court talked about this in private, and I purposely did not bring this up to anybody else because I didn't want to sway how I feel or allow how I feel to affect the greater good, so to speak. We in the midst of a social justice movement. We're in the midst of trying to be unified. So I said I was going to shut the hell up. But since we're talking about it,
Go ahead and cook, D.
how dare you, Jamel Hill, somebody that I have a ton of respect for, somebody that I laud after, just like Irv. I'm not getting tongue tied around it because I seen whatever. But how dare you be such a media hypocrite to go and garner a deal with the same? I understand you aligning with Kaepernick, that makes sense, but you co-signing on a deal with a company that not only tried to silence you in the media for posting things on your personal platform, but then uh, basically you're in your own words shitting on you. Real talk, and shitting on you on multiple occasions. Like I don't understand how you have the audacity to make this deal and then turn right around. I mean, to go at Jay and then turn right around and make this deal as if, like, I feel like the men in this world, especially the men in the media, should be garnering another Me Too movement to rip you to shreds right now. Because
Goodness gracious.
you,
Dang, D.
you tripping. You, like, real talk, you tripping. I feel like you're in an entanglement with ESPN.
Wow. Wow.
You
Shout,
wilding right now.
shout out to the
No, no, no,
entanglement.
no, no, no. We shout out nothing.
Yo,
I'm gonna leave that where it is, man, because I know Court got a lot right now.
yo,
So
look.
I'm
So because D broke it down, right? I don't have to go into that, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off with I'm probably a bigger Jamel Hill fan than anybody on the panel right now. Like I highly respect her, her voice, how she go about her business, how she handle her business, how she's always been pretty much 100% herself. So in that, there's just things that happen amongst her and the Kaepernick alignment that I might have felt things about and even said on social media, some she's responded to. But it's out of respect for her, knowing the person she displayed on camera for years, and how can I say this? How she always asked the tough questions or didn't just run with a story and was like, let's look a little deeper before she did things. And kind of, I didn't feel like she did that same thing on that, but fine. So I felt the way because to do the fight. There's other positions. Everybody plays a role in that fight. Play it how you play it, but don't the way D explained it, like the way you came at the whole situation, I can hear you, but then when you turn around and do this one and go, wait, hold on. As a fan, like explain it to me. Sis, big sis. Like help me understand. How is this not the same thing? Because I didn't watch ESPN. I wouldn't mess with ESPN on that. Like I wasn't really messing with them. I haven't messed with them since because I felt the way about that. Like I enjoyed seeing Michael and Jamel Smith. That was a very good show to like in the midst of things. Like I appreciated those people on television and what they delivered and the kind of distant inspiration they can give to others. So for you to turn and do this, it's like you're just emotional about that situation. Like so, if as long as we on this, like just that one matters, but every other way I look at your situation, everybody partnering with them, everybody got it. Nike
Yo,
or ESPN
Court, relax,
or
man.
Disney.
All media matters, bro.
Hey,
All
D,
media.
before you go
Yo,
into it, hey, the
Yo, don't
comments is
just
on
say,
fire.
don't just act like black media, only black media, all media matters.
Yeah,
Hey,
see,
D, hey, hold on real quick. The comments is on fire, man.
yeah, I'm
Sharon
not coming out
Miller.
at all, yo. I love
Hey,
her.
Courtney.
I'm telling y'all.
Hey, Courtney. Mullen said, "I always felt everyone was wrong to go with Jay-Z anyway." I agree with you, Sharon. Go back a little bit more. Ramona, she talks about that. Hey, call him out. Um, Ramona also said that she did the same exact thing as Jay Z. So I think we all kind of in agreement that
And
we
I want to
we
say this.
wish you well, Jamel.
No, I don't
But
want to say this to make this come off. I know how y'all play this and spin it on the media and it's these black men got on a panel to talk down on a black. This ain't got nothing to do with none of that, home. This got to do with sis having to explain to me, or not, no, you don't owe me anything. I'm just saying there is a grouping of supporters and loved ones that are looking at you and saying, it's wrong when Hove do it because he's self-serving and all about himself and the money. But when you do it, it's for the people. Even
Oh,
it's for the people. Like
when Hove do it, it's all about the
not the money.
business. It's
But
all
when you do it,
about
I'm
the
all about
business.
the people. Like, whoa. It's
The,
networks and ways, man.
the
You could have did
audacity of these clowns to act like
You could have did it
Nike,
on
to
remote and
act
I would have
like,
took it better.
bruh, we gonna act like ESPN is not partnering with Cap and Jamel and Ava DuVernay and Netflix, which in turn is garnering a deal with Nike, who makes the jerseys for who? The NFL. You are essentially backdoor partnering with the same entity that you just slammed home for, bro.
Look.
And
I
Walt
didn't do it on
Disney.
the front door. I didn't walk through the front door. I went
Oh
through
no,
the
no, no!
back.
You did it like Patrick Mahomes and the Brokeback Mountain, and
whoa,
you
whoa, whoa, whoa,
and
whoa,
you
whoa, whoa.
and you allow Walt. No, no, no! I'm not backing up. Pause. I listen. Walt Disney is sitting in the back with the fingers on the puppet master, just twiddling them joints, while everybody else is just trying to get their little pennies. As we are still dealing with the same BS that we've been dealing with for the last 5 centuries. Nothing. In the words of Courtney, young and talented. Nothing has changed.
Okay, Ice, you've been a little quiet. Also, Sharon Mullen said that her sources tell her that ESPN and Jamel have been working to repair their relationship for weeks. Was this a play so that Jamel could get back in ESPN's good graces?
Listen, man, she pulled the LeBron James, man. She used
She
her
went back.
leverage.
She's trying to go back home.
Taking my
She
talents
pulled
and
the
stuff.
she pulled the LeBron, man. She dipped for a little bit, and now that they got the opportunity to give her the bag she wants, she got the leverage. She gonna do a deal with ESPN. It's just that simple. Like just like how LeBron went back to Cleveland, but he had all the leverage.
Hey,
So
shout out to her.
yeah,
I hope it's a big
yeah,
bag. She should have
absolutely,
never lost a job. She should have never been out of
absolutely,
place. So she deserved a big bag and a celebration to bring her back. She deserved any and everything they give her. But
yes,
don't get mad at the one who did it in the front door because you went through the back door.
yeah, exactly.
I went through the front door. You mad at me? We in the same
Yo,
party.
yo,
The
why we
same
gotta start off
situation.
with the first two scenarios? You know what? You know what? All right, all right. Okay, we
Hey,
playing them games. Okay, all right.
AD. Let's keep. I know I'm gonna kind of go out of order, but I want to maintain. I want to maintain this conversation about the bag.
No, no,
I
no, no,
gotta.
no, 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 no. Because no. Since we talking about controversial bags,
Yeah,
let's
let's
not.
get into it. Let's get into it.
And excuse me about this, Ice, but let's not act like people's stepfather not taking $400,000 bags at that Duke, and
Let's talk
we
about
just
it.
minimizing it. Look, come on. I mean, because
Shout out to
Herb.
Duke. I was fucking with Duke over
I
there.
mean, see, I'm on my Jim Jones. Listen, man, we not gonna act like it's not a whole bunch of stuff that's going on right now. That undertone wise is really shady as it pertains to media coverage and what's actually being put out there versus what's really being out there, man. Herb, the news surfaced yesterday. It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday that Zion Williamson's stepdad took $400,000
Wow.
of impermissible benefits to get him
Wow.
over to Duke.
Hey, get the bag.
Wow.
And I'm not.
Wow.
Listen.
And why does Coach K get a pass? Why does Coach K get a pass? If this was
Now
Calipari,
you gonna be
they would
careful
be.
talking
They.
about Coach K
Yes,
with Ice on this
sir.
panel.
I
You
got
gonna
you,
be
but
careful talking about Coach K with Ice on this panel.
if this was Calipari, they would be dragging him across the coals right now. Okay, why does Coach K get a pass? If this is real, we might have Duke should have some type of sanctioning. We got to do something, man. Coach, Ice. I'm gonna put it with you.
Please,
Yo,
Talk,
I
talk,
think
talk to me about this
yeah,
400K.
put it
When
in
it was
Ice's
on
bucket.
Tobacco Road, they tried to come
Please.
get us. Rashad McCants turned into 6'9", and they tried to come get us. So why they ain't go get Coach K and them Cameron indoors, huh?
please come to me.
Talk to me, Ice. Talk to me about this 400K allegedly that Zion's stepfather got to get him to do.
Allegedly.
First of all, it's a slap in the face. 400K, that's it? That's it? That's all you want to offer me? I'm gonna walk you too. I'm gonna take the bread and walk you too. You like Zion is going to be. If he doesn't get hurt, he's going to be a superstar in this league for at least 10 years, like at a minimum of 10. But what coach hasn't? You know what I mean? Like what parents haven't taken a deal? Like it's been going on forever.
Yeah,
Players have been taking deals.
Calipari gets destroyed for this. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so why does Coach K get a pass?
I need to understand.
I
need answers, Ice.
Coach K hands is clean, man. He ain't got nothing to do with that.
Oh
You
my
know?
God!
He don't got nothing to do with that, man. You know?
I knew it.
Hey,
I knew it. I
Hey.
knew the Christian Laettner protege was gonna come out and say it.
Hey, man.
Hey,
His hands are
listen to
clean.
what I tell you. Ice works for Olivia Pope and Associates, man.
Don't worry about my hands. Coach K, he doesn't even know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Man. You know, he's dealing with the Black Lives Matter movement, man.
Yeah,
He don't
yeah,
got
all
time-
right,
Coach K knows
man.
that.
Yeah,
He ain't got time for this, man.
I need to bring some. I need to bring
matter
some
to Coach K.
another
That is a fact.
perspective.
You can believe him on that. They do
Hey,
matter
listen.
to Coach K clearly.
Hey, listen, guys, we having a good time right now, but you are listening to Fresh Perspective. But Stanfield, I need you to give another perspective on this bag that Zion's stepfather allegedly received. I mean, you think about what happened with Reggie Bush and the house that his
Reggie
parents received. What happened to USC? USC, basically got a bomb dropped on them.
They gave
Talk
my
to me
boy
about-
back his stuff too. Shout out to him.
Hey,
Speak to me on this, please.
I'm gonna speak on this, but I'm gonna jump in the comment sections because
All
because somebody said something that I'm echoing in my spill. So Chuck Thomas just said Coach K had nothing to do with it behind the scenes boosters. Zion was headed to South Carolina, and many people were mad Duke bought him. That's first of all, that's BS. Zion wasn't going to South Carolina. Zion was going to either UCLA or Kentucky or Kentucky. That's it. That's it. That's first and foremost. Donovan Samuel said, "I stop lying. Coach K equals Nick Saban." Whoa. What you're not gonna do is throw Nick Saban in this. Nick Saban ain't do nothing wrong.
Oh no! Oh,
Yo. Hey, y'all chill. We not talking about Nick Saban right now. No.
Hey, Pretty Nicky comes to the barbecue and dance. You heard?
If you want to talk about Nick Saban, then let's talk about the racist known as Dabo Sweeney and how he
Whoa,
keep
whoa,
letting
whoa!
racist stuff go
Don't
on in his.
don't don't get
Oh,
off subject. Let's
oh,
stick
oh,
with Coach.
yeah,
Let's
okay
stick with
then.
that
All right,
400K.
all
Let's
right.
stick with
Well,
the
Hey,
400K.
all I know,
that
all I
coach
know is the next
400K,
time y'all
coach
see
400K.
the
That's what.
next time y'all see Nick Saban, he gonna be doing the pop smoke dance. Watch what I tell you. You hear me?
Yep.
Hold
Yo,
on.
listen, listen,
Hold
listen.
on, D.
I'm
You
gonna say,
just D.
hold
You
on,
just coined a new nickname for Coach K, guys. You heard it
coach
first on Fresh Perspective.
400K,
He will now, for here on out, be known as Coach 400K.
400K.
Go ahead, D.
yo,
Cook, man.
yo, real talk though, real talk though. I thought it was ironic that in the midst of all this Dion Williamson stuff going on, Coach K came out with the Black Lives Matter video.
Why is it
And
ironic?
because you trying to throw away you trying to take the negative pub away from the university. I've never heard Coach K speak up for social justice. He doesn't. He barely gets on social media at all. And I'm not saying that it wasn't warranted. I'm just saying the timing was kind of
What coach has? You still
that
ain't got
that,
coaches. You
that
still
that's
got
that
coaches that ain't come out yet.
that
Your
eludes
coach still
that,
ain't come out yet.
and he's not going to. You know
Okay,
why?
so
You know why? You know why? Because he allows the players to voice. He allows the players to voice their
no,
opinions about
no, the
social
coaches
justice.
got to say something too.
Roy said
Anything.
something, right?
Roy did say
No,
something. No,
who
Yeah,
Roy did.
said?
Say,
Roy did
Roy did
say
say something.
something.
Roy did say something.
Roy
Oh,
said,
I missed that.
"See,
Yeah,
yeah, you missed it. That's the devil.
Roy echoed in line with what Mike said. That he ain't
He
really
didn't say
say
nothing
say
more
it
than like Coach
himself.
K
Yeah,
said.
yeah, yeah. Him. I mean, listen.
They did it together.
I feel okay. I feel as though Coach K oftentimes gets a pass, but you know, Coach
Shout
K
out to
to me,
him, man.
Coach K to me is no different than Pete Carroll. When Pete Carroll was winning, everything was good. When the roof got hot, Pete Carroll got the hell up out of there like he should have. Why are you hating the player? Hate the game, not the player. I'm not hating on K. K. I'm still the only thing I don't like about K is K consistently gets the best players in the nation and still can't win chips when he got the best players. He only win chips when he got mediocre teams. So
Yes, sir.
Well,
so
That's
I'm,
not
I'm
true.
all
That's
right.
not true.
I'm gonna bring this to Courtney real quick
so
because what I think
Last trip
is
we
going
won as
on.
four freshmen.
But I'm not going to put all of this on Coach K, even though I do feel like Coach K gets a pass. What about the parents shopping their kids? Because obviously his stepfather was shopping his services to the highest bidder. Because if Calipari was in the picture, we already know Calipari came with a suitcase. It just happens that Coach K came with a bigger suitcase. So Courtney, I want you to speak to just this whole parent situation. You see a lot of dad ball coming up. I mean, just little kids like 9 and 10 years old. You see parents just at the game, fighting at the game, going crazy,
Mm-hmm.
all to get to the point where they're able to shop their kid
Mm-hmm.
for the bag. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about that. Do the parents have any culpability in this situation at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Parents are doing the best they can to raise their children. You feel me? And they are raising them properly and making them a business. You hear me? And how is it their fault that you want to pay my child to play basketball? That is not their fault. That sweat equity. All right. Who's put more time in than the parent? Hmm? Everybody gonna make money, but the parent shouldn't eat. Come on, no, absolutely, they deserve no culpability. You hear what I'm saying? He is supposed to shop however he wants. It should be a decision between parent and child. These are our options? These are the best options. These are the worst options.
Now,
This
now
is
hold
the
on,
most
Courtney.
money. This is the least amount of money, and you go from there, brother.
Courtney, I'm gonna push back a little bit. I
Come
remember a
on,
couple
talk to
years
me.
back, it was a guy who was having his announcement party, and obviously his mother wanted him to pick a particular team.
Correct, correct,
My man put on the other hat. His
uh,
mother was visibly disturbed, and he was
correct,
visibly hurt because his
correct.
mother was disturbed. Doesn't the whole shopping can it end up in situations like that as well? I'm
It
sure that's not the only
see,
situation.
see, here we go again. It absolutely can end. But notice that was a beef between a mother and a son. And
Hmm.
what I want you to do, here are our options. Here's the money. Here's the least amount of money. I prefer you to go here. As a kid, you might disagree with your parents. We've all done it. Nobody's innocent in that, right? We all have disagreements. Some people go with you, right, man. This is the best decision. Or, nah, I'm good. I'm going this way. They have to deal with that anger. They'll be okay. They'll have a conversation. It's on him to prove to his mother that he made the right decision. Not nobody else. That ain't no beef between the media. How can they get involved in that?
At the end of the day, it's the player's choice.
The
It's the
decision.
player's decision. So the mom ain't putting up 1,000 shots a day. The
Yeah,
mom
she
ain't getting up
is.
and scoring. But guess what? On that draft day, no matter what school he picked, that mama gonna be the first one hugging him and crying.
Yeah,
So
and it's gonna be love.
It's gonna be
yeah, it's gonna
love.
be
It's
all
gonna be
love.
love.
Like I get it. Like some parents want their kids to stay home, or stay close to home. But some kids don't need to stay close to home. Like I mean, and like outside of the people that's just throwing out the bags, like let's just make it clear, it's not the coaches throwing out the bag. It's the boosters and the people around it. Like I know people personally. I won't say no names, but I
Thank
know
you.
people
Please
who
don't snitch.
have. I know people who have gotten brand new trucks, brand new vehicles from their school's alumni. Like I know people that have been working in a flower shop getting $3,000-4,000 a week to spend 3 or 4 hours a day. Like, you know,
Trucks in the projects. You're
come on, man.
All right, but real
And
quick, guys. Hey,
we ain't
D.
just talking about like regular trucks. We talking about blue chips,
No,
Hey,
like Tahoes, Escalades. We talking
yes,
about
hey, D. Hey,
absolutely,
we talking about goddamn.
absolutely.
You feel me? Go
D.
I'm
ahead,
Can you
Earl.
go?
talking about
D.
Ducati
Can
bands
you
on
go?
Valley,
speakers.
oh,
You heard?
Hey, D. Can you go to the comments real quick? Because the comments
Yeah,
is on
yeah.
fire.
The comments
And
is
then
lit right now, man.
all right,
Listen,
talk to me.
Chuck Thomas said, I got several kids that I know go to Alabama, and I have more respect for that university now. Hearing college kids' opinions about teachers and programs changed my mind. Sharon Mullen said, Sharon Mullen has said a lot throughout the last 5 minutes.
Shout out to Sharon Mullen.
Shut up.
Yeah, man. And this is the same woman that said she was going to meet Bo outside if he ever
Fact.
come out his mouth.
I like her. That's my dog.
Shout out to Sharon Mullen. I like her a lot.
Uh, Sharon Mullen said, "That's why I said I'm sick of the whole Williamson family. Hell yeah, parents have culpability. They aren't raising them properly." And then she said, "Nah, bro." And then we're talking about kids getting the bag and parents
How
shopping their
is,
kids. Um,
hold on, Vaughn. How is they're not raising Zion properly? Like I told Ahmad, the day you step on this college campus at ODU, this is a business from here on out. It's no longer you playing for free, you playing for fun. It's a business from here on out. From the day you step on this campus to the day you end your professional career. We all know he's a pro right now. So it's not like the parents are just getting hit to the game. They're taking it as far as high school. It's becoming a business now. Depending on what level you are, it's a business. You got to treat it as if it's a business. Like so, no, it's not the parents at fault. It's the ones that don't have the parents behind them that make the
I,
wrong
I
decision.
I feel like and I want to piggyback off what you just said,
Or
Ice.
the parents that don't know the game. They
Right,
might got
right.
them behind
Yeah,
them, but they just don't know
I
the game.
that
I
too.
And
I
I
That
can't
too.
fault you for not knowing
when you
something that
know you
nobody's
one
allowed to
and
know.
done,
Exactly.
right? When you know you
Exactly.
one and done, you've never in the past until days like today, you've never in the past seen a kid that knows he's one and done immediately out of high school start moving with a financial advisor. That's
Yeah.
commonplace today. I know
Mm.
I know Wendell Carter's financial advisor, and he operates on behalf of not only Wendell but their entire family. They have
Wow.
they have investment strategies going into. Shout out
Families are
to
going to college. Families are raising
yeah,
kids in college with
and
financial
real talk, yo, ain't
planners,
that
bro.
what college,
We got accountants out here. Just because we
Yeah.
got kids in college don't mean the family
bruh?
ain't financially
Word,
stable
ain't that what
Yeah.
you going to college for anyway? To learn how to manage your money and be a better responsible
There's
adult.
parents out there with those that know the game already. Like
Exactly.
Yep.
So why are we harping on them? And this is not belittling what Sharon said,
at
but
all.
I'm with Ice and Court on this. I feel like parents understand that Number one, nothing is guaranteed. That's first and foremost. Nothing is
Yep.
guaranteed. So if you can get a $400,000 bag for and never set foot on the field or on the court, kudos to you. You won the game. That's first and foremost. Second of all, I feel as though even when you do make it into professional sports, and shout out to Kia Anderson, shout out to Ahmad Caver, shout out to the J Rose and all of the pros and the pros that didn't necessarily make it to elite pro stardom, but still were pros. Man, shout out to you guys. You understand that when you get into professional sports, you have a window, you have a life cycle, a lifespan. So your job in your window is to get everything you can get out of it. So why are we
Now,
consistently
what I will say on that, on the Williams
honorably, but
is honorably do it though. If you sign a
honorably?
Yeah.
deal with somebody,
Absolutely.
don't try to back out on them. Like, I don't know the particulars, but what it feel like is you signed a deal, you made a deal, you got what you got out of it, and was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the big boys now. I'll see y'all later. But you signed a deal, honor it. Like, if
I
somebody treated you fairly in business, you signed a contract and they honored your deal. I'm not saying you have to re-sign with them, but at least honor the contract, bro. Don't try to slide me before. Like, don't. Oh, you're doing a great job, but I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of you, boss, and I'm gonna go this way. Like, it's a deal here. And if you're gonna do that, pay me out then, and pay me the proper way. Pay me up to my. You know what I mean? Pay me properly.
hold on,
y'all
Irv.
guys got the
Hold on,
comments
Irv. Let me
on
let me tell
fire,
you.
man.
Let me tell you why this.
I
Why
want to
we
answer Sharon.
got this. Let me tell you why we got this thing backwards, Irv. I believe
Okay.
it was Luka Doncic that went on record and said last year. Court. I think me and Court talked about this. Luka Doncic went on record and said college sports is totally unnecessary in today's day and age in most sports because these guys because and possibly because the professional sports the elite start at age 13 playing professionally. Am I right, Ice? Because you were agent in the international platform, right? So that's what you
Say it
like.
again.
So
Professional.
I'm saying people start playing pro sports as early as 12, 11 years old across these.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, definitely.
so
That's
Luca
why they're
went on
so polished when they get to the
when they
league.
get here. So why are we so as the mentality continues to change and people get hip to that, our mentality needs to change. If people want to get the bag, let them get the bag, bro. Just make sure.
I
Just make
don't.
your job should be
My
making
only
sure that they're
response in the
responsible
comment.
with that bag.
My only response in the comments to where's the morals at and all of that
Yeah, I wanna
beautiful
I
thing.
wanna attack that too,
My my
Court.
my
I wanna
only
attack that too.
my only response to about the morals and all of this. My morals are with my family being better than we was before. My job is to put them in a better position as a player. If I'm a player, that's my job is to be better for my family and take them in a better position. My morals is with my family. Nike gonna get this
Hmm.
bag off me. Them schools getting that bag off me. Where they morals? They give me a school. You got colleges canceling programs right now. Where are they morals? Where are they
Woo,
morals? When kids get
woo.
hurt and go through things, or parents die, or things happen where we live at, and we emotionally going through something, they kick you off the team. Where are they morals? They still got that money. That 40 points or 30 points I put up on TV still got ratings. Everybody got money. I don't care about no. Miss me with the moral. Where's the morals with these
Yeah,
schools
yeah.
giving out money for nothing, man? They ain't giving it out for free.
Sharon, I don't know you personally, but I don't know if you have a kid, that's a McDonald's All American or like a highly ranked kid. Like I'm quite sure you will feel differently if you had a kid that was that caliber. Like when you have agents coming at you, your son that's in the 10th grade, like it's a whole different ball game. It's no more. It's no more just playing for fun. Like your life
When
totally
I put
changes,
that jersey on, I make
man.
everybody money. I make everybody money
Zion,
when I put that
hold,
jersey
hold,
on.
hold on, Court. Hold
My
on, Court.
mama gonna get a piece of the pie. I'm sorry.
Court, Court. I'm gonna end it with this. Zion's quote unquote moral stop soon as Drake put that jersey on. When Drake put that high school jersey on, The morals is out the window. This is officially a business.
Business, man.
Zion
You
was
better
in
go
the
get your
10th.
bag.
Zion was in the 10th grade, and the #1 artist in the country, in the world, has your jersey on.
It ain't a
At
company
this
out
point,
here CEO got morals for me.
it's a business. At that point, it's a business. His family caught on to it, and they did a great job because that little 400,000 that they talking about, Zion could give them that money right now
I just
with no
respect that
problem.
they did it honorably. That's all I say. I'm with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Don't do it
absolutely,
inhonorably and try to run
absolutely.
away on that money.
All
Pay
right,
the
Yeah,
guys.
which brings us back to our original point. Uh, uh, what we talking about right now is Zion's lawsuit that he's dealing with the agency. And to Court's point, it seems as though you signed paperwork that you need to honor on your end.
I'm all for
Otherwise, we
fair
wouldn't be
business,
having the conversation. But no, you want to jump over to CAA.
Yeah,
And get the ultra bag because of what they have to offer. But bruh, pay what you owe.
pay what you owe. You sign now the morals on that as a step down. Where's your morals and your principles on honoring
Yeah,
a deal and doing
yeah,
business fairly? Now that I'm all with you.
Because
Those
if you
morals,
pay, because if you
that
paid what you
point,
owe,
yeah,
pay
if you
what you
paid what
owe.
you owe, we wouldn't even know about this
Yeah,
400K
clean
right
up
now.
your mess. If you're
I
gonna do
got you.
something,
Hey,
if you're gonna
fellas,
clean up your
that's
mess,
a
do
good
it right.
point. And listen, y'all been cooking heavy on this subject, but I need to go to the comments because y'all had the comments lit up, man. Well, first I want to shout out Reginald Adams, man. Reginald Adams has been a day one fan of this show, and he always show up. Love you, man. Appreciate your support. Also, I want to read a comment. Terrence Morgan said LeVar Ball showed the blueprint. He built the empire using his house tools, Mello, Jello, and Zoe. Sharon, hey, you've been on fire today, Sharon. Thank you. She said, because his stepdad ain't supposed to be asking or accepting, period. I don't give a bleep. She said, damn, she ain't say nothing else. But she said, it's not right. Um, man, it's just been on fire. But Courtney, you brought up a good point, and you talked about the canceling of programs. I'm kind of flip flopping.
Okay, talk to me.
I'm going with the flow of the show.
Okay.
Stanford is discontinuing 11 of its 36 varsity sports
Yeah, let's
programs
talk about this.
yeah,
because
yeah,
of COVID.
Right.
yeah.
Now, I wanna preface this because this is how important football is to a program. A lot of people want to talk about, okay, these players don't get paid, a lot of different things, but the actual money that's made from football supports all of the other sports on campus except for maybe basketball because basketball has enough of its own following. I'm going to go ahead with the professional on this one first. Talk to me about how do you feel about Stanford having to cut 11 different programs, and what do you think you'll see this happening across the board with other universities due to this COVID situation?
Okay. Um, Give me a second to break this one down, if y'all would, please. Uh, Matter of fact, I'm not gonna go heavy with it because there is a person in this chat that's about to go ham, and so I'm I'm gonna just say this.
We
I,
here for
I,
all the smoke.
all right. Well, let's just be clear. Some universities are not going to survive this as a whole. That's
Hmm.
first and foremost. Some universities are in the processes of getting their finances in order right now because they are not going to survive the financial detriment that is losing their sports revenue. A lot of times, and ICE knows this, especially as it pertains to our institutions, HBCUs, they have to divvy around their sports revenue to support other programs that they normally wouldn't have to do at other institutions. So when I see stuff like Stanford eliminating 11 of its 36 varsity programs, red flags jump out to me off the top. But then I did a little digging and I found out what programs they eliminated. And I
Break it down for me.
no, I'm not. I'm not going there because Courtney's going to get into that. I'll just say the only thing that really concerns me outside of that is there is no mutual integrity. The language behind and I read their affidavit, their open letter to Stanford University. the language behind that said that they are going to try to help the student athletes that they have had to disband as a result of making this decision because of the financial ramifications. But my whole thing is, you got kids at a $60,000 university, and they are essentially without scholarship, and some of them could be out of an education at this point. And let's not act like your endowment isn't extremely heavy. So it's not like you can't sustain it.
Well,
You just want to maintain your profit margins. And
see,
so
he feels differently about this whole thing than I
no, I
do.
don't. No, I don't. I just didn't go into that.
Jokingly, I mean, I understand what he's saying and where Ice is going to go. I'm going to get my part of it now. Can can you please tell me some of the scholarships that are
See,
lost?
this is exactly what I'm talking about.
See,
All right.
no, please. Can you name all
Co-ed,
the scholarships that are lost? I have some questions for the people.
light rowing, co-ed men's and women's sailing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was polo.
Hold on,
Oh,
stop. Quick question for the people in the world and all these lives matters and people and how the hell do you get a sailing scholarship? What do you do to get a sailing scholarship, fellas? Anybody know?
You got to sail.
I-
You got to sail.
Man,
You got to sail.
What do you do? Like, is this?
You got to have a sailboat.
Is there an AAU for sailing?
hey man. Hey man.
Like, how do you talk about giving away scholarship and morals? Sailing? Which students sail? How did you get that scholarship, bro? Like, talk, yeah.
Who came and recruited you, Court?
Who told you?
Yeah, where did you get recruited?
Who told you in the ninth grade sailing your ass off? Just damn, he sailed good as hell. Like, how do you get that scholarship, bro? Like,
But hold up, Courtney. So basically, you're saying that Stanford canceling 11 scholarships, that's nothing. You saying this is a non-issue?
bro.
No. Yeah.
Who cares
Let me-
about
let me-
the
let me-
people?
let me read
Is
this again.
that your position?
Irv, let me read this again because I'm only going to read 6 of them. Lightweight rowing, men's rowing, co-ed and women's sailing, squash, and synchronized swimming.
What? Wait. What the? Come on, man. Come on, who are you fooling, man? Who are you talking to, man? You trying to act like you protecting people? First of all, how do you get a set? I'm back to my question, bro. Somebody in the comments, we have highly educated people who watch this show. How the hell do you get a sailing scholarship? I want to know. I want my siblings and family members to now start trying to get these scholarships. I didn't know. You could get a
But Courtney, this is not a this hold up. This is not about COVID protection. This is about the economic effect of COVID on these different universities. Hold on.
That ain't what
Real
this
quick.
is about.
COVID-19 has affected businesses across the board. Some of my favorite restaurants, well, one of my favorite restaurants is not even going to open when this was all said and done because it was a buffet. It was a salad style buffet.
Mhm.
And it was already in trouble.
Mhm.
And when COVID hit, going 3 months revenue free, they can't reopen. We talking about Stanford University that's probably been operating in the black for the past how many years? I've never dug into their finances or anything like that, so I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that Stanford operates in the black. Why is it that after one season of possibly not having football, you got to eliminate these scholarships?
How much money are you giving to the sailors, bro? That you got to
I don't
cancel
know.
them out after a couple
The fact of the matter is, if you have a sailing scholarship, odds are you
got
don't
money.
need a scholarship.
Bro, you got money, Stanford.
You got
For
the
you to have
bag.
Stanford to be giving a sailing scholarship shows you that this ain't about no money, man. How do you get a scholarship to sail?
Okay, real quick, man. Joseph Miller. Hold up.
Hold on,
Joseph Miller.
because I know what Joe said, and I don't
All
care
right.
about I don't care about the Olympic sport. I don't care about it being an Olympic sport because at the end of the day, the point is not about the program. Our point is there is no mutual integrity on behalf of the freaking university. That's what the point we're trying to drive. Yeah, we can make jokes about the sports. Ain't nobody in the hood fencing. Ain't nobody in the hood playing squash.
I,
Nobody
I,
no. When the last time you seen a scout come into the hood to say, "Yo, that guy can synchronize swim the hell out of some water"? You ain't never seen it. But on the flip side, when you talk about eliminating these programs, you are taking a
Scholarship.
scholarship money out of people who really need it in some cases, like wrestling. There's wrestlers losing scholarships as a result of this. There's field hockey players that are losing scholarships as a result of this. Bruh, there's no mutual accountability here when y'all already at Stanford University not only have a crazy endowment bag, but there's so much research and development going on at that university that you're gonna bring in money for. They are sponsoring a part of the goddamn the goddamn vaccine that is trying to eradicate COVID. You know they getting the bag. You got the money. Stop playing. It's schools out here that's really gonna fall because of this.
I
Okay.
that's
Well,
that's his. Yeah, I told y'all from the start. He feels the guy right here feels differently than I necessarily do, and I respect everyone's feeling on this. All I'm asking because I seen only one comment. My comment thing is messed up. Only comment I seen
the
was
comments are on fire.
yeah. Only comments I seen was, am I saying it? I think it was Dre who asked, am I saying it gender and race driven? I'm asking one, I don't know how you get a selling scholarship. I don't know those schools. I've been to some private schools. I've been to some public schools. I know people who've been to other type of schools. I don't know. I don't know how expensive water sports is. But they gotta be like Stanford got a lot of alumni, highly paid
A lot
alumni.
of Matter of fact, when you
Right.
go to when you
Like
go to I got a friend I
highly
got a friend
paid
whose wife went to
people.
Stanford.
Come up
When you
out
go
of
to
there.
Stanford, if you graduate, if when you go to
For
Stanford,
them to
if you
cancel,
graduate, you are considered a failure. Most people go to Stanford to evolve their business, sell their business, and drop out. They
I didn't
don't
know
go to
that.
Stanford to
That's
graduate unless you're
interesting.
an athlete. And even in the athlete standpoint, a lot of those guys
oh
are
no,
either one and dones or they're lawyers and doctors, prospective lawyers and
oh no,
doctors.
Dre, I got you. I know you were just asking. My question is not irrelevant at all, Sharon. I'm
Dre
confused.
ain't asking you the question. He asking TC the question because TC said why it's always got to be about the hood. It's about the hood because we were referencing why we're making jokes about it. We were making jokes about it because there's such a high level of irony over the fact that you giving all of these scholarships to kids that probably don't even need the bag. And then on the flip side, you got kids that
Well,
man.
listen, I know
All right,
Sharon is here and she was asking about the moral compass and things. So I have a question.
Yes.
How is the moral compass of Stanford right now? If anybody can see the comments, please tell me her response. How does their moral compass look right now on this end? That's what I'm talking about.
Well,
That, that,
I
that
like to hear from Ice. Ice, you've been kind of quiet on this whole Stanford situation. I would like your perspective on it. What are your thoughts on the canceling of these scholarships and the effect of COVID? And let's bring in a moral compass, like Courtney asked the question. How do you feel about the Stanford situation?
I was shocked because Stanford has a long history of a lot of money, and they're even looked at educationally. They're on the level as an Ivy League school. So, but even though they're
Academically, yes.
academically, yeah, so they are a Pac-12 school.
they're a
So
valley juggernaut. Yeah, yeah.
people that are in
anybody ever?
sports,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, let Ice cook, man.
people that are in sports on the West Coast, they look at Stanford as a Yale, a Cornell, but the funding is ridiculous at Stanford. So for them to just off a couple of months to eliminate 11 programs, that's just shocking to me because the money should still be there. I mean, even though the money that they're getting from their football program and their basketball programs, those are elite programs. So, like, y'all folding 11 programs after that? Like, the money is like, where's the money? Like, what are y'all doing with the money? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's not even a full season, but to comment off of Vaughn, like, yes, we're talking about the hood. Yes, My conference that I played in, the CIAA, has literally just folded their whole fall schedule. So yes, it's
Mm.
I
it's
I
it's
got I
touching
got
to
I
me.
got this
It's
and
touching to me.
I got
Yes.
I got the answer to my question, and I'm gonna say it. Usually I Irv do it, but I'm gonna do the comment. Sharon's response was it's about COVID, not morals. What would you have them do with then, Court? Do you know how much it costs to operate the university? That university. Have they canceled the football?
Nope.
Have they canceled basketball?
Nope.
Have they canceled the baseball season?
Nope.
Have they determined that all kids will? I don't know yet because I haven't paid attention. Did they determine all kids will stay off campus?
I'm not sure yet, but I
If they
mean,
didn't cancel football, basketball, baseball, don't tell me about no COVID-19. You still gonna have your sport. Still
mhm.
gonna play that Pac-12 tournament. Don't tell
Not
me
not
about no
only are they
COVID.
playing the
If the
Pac-12 tournament,
football and basketball,
they still playing their
don't
conference
tell me
games.
about no
Court.
COVID. I ain't trying to hear no COVID if the
they're
football
playing.
basketball program
They
is
still
still.
signed up to play their conference games in the
They're
Pac-12.
They signed their conference games, and we talking
They
about
play.
COVID. So the swimmers, so the sailors, protect the sailors, protect the polo. But you can go run out there and that goddamn basketball court and football field, though.
Yeah.
Man, morals. That's why you pay me money and I go
Yo,
Yeah.
play. Yeah, you pay me money and I go
yo,
play.
That,
Yeah.
hey, Irv, I'm putting on my Lawrence Fishburne hat from Higher Learning, and I'm saying, run.
yo,
Yeah,
the cra- the
Oh
crazy the
man.
cra- the
yeah, man.
crazy thing
I ain't trying to
the
hear that,
crazy
man.
thing about this, like, because we talked about this last night when we were saying they're about to start playing conference only games. And Court X, why are they only going to play conference games? I said because they're trying to stretch the time. The conference games are at the end of the schedule, like at the end of the schedule. So they're
Good
trying
point.
to
Good
bank
point.
on. They're trying to bank on still
Oh,
having a season.
Too much money
Too much
riding on
you
football.
just
Stop,
hung
stop,
yourself,
stop,
Tom Casey.
stop,
You
Tom
just hung
Casey. Hold
yourself.
on, time out. Too much money riding on football to announce the season canceled this early. You a fool. But we just said it was about morals and not the money.
Yeah.
What are
You
y'all
you
talking
just hung
about?
yourself.
What are
Why
you
would you even put
talking
that in the
about?
comment? You just hung yourself.
So don't get the bag as a kid, but the people, oh, you can get the bag though. Hold that money
Yeah.
because college football is too much money to deny. But it's about COVID, y'all. It's about COVID.
But
Make
the
up your minds, people.
Well, guys, real quick, I'm gonna bring this home because we got to segue once again. I think D brought up a very very good point.
Oh man.
Um, you gotta not that you gotta question some of these companies, but it's really interesting that sports across the board and even these schools, they're more interested in them maintaining their proper profit margin than actually spreading this loss across the board because a lot of people are taking losses right now. But one person is not taking a loss.
Mm.
I got to give it to my boy Dana White. Last week, I had to shout out the NBA commissioner. Dana White is one of the top heads of a sport in sports right now. Not only did he create his own bubble, he created his own island, Fight Island. My man went to Dubai, set everything up, and he set the stage. We got a nice fight coming, guys. We got my man Kamari Usman. Sorry if I said it wrong. And he's going to face Jorge Masvidal in UFC 251 tonight. I truly admire Dana White because, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm a diehard boxing fan, and I still prefer boxing to the UFC. But what Dana White has been able to do with the UFC over the past couple of years, he has put UFC in popularity over boxing, and boxing had like 100-year head start. So I truly admire Dana White and what he's been able to do with the octagon. But D, I'm gonna start with you on this one, man. Talk to me about Fight Island, how he set everything up, and what do you think about this fight? Personally, I think Masvidal has a chance to take this on 6 days' notice. D, talk to me.
uh, all right. So first and foremost, um, first of all, let's take this in totality. This might be one of the best UFC lineups ever. Aldo Yan, Holloway, Volkan, and then you get Usman Masvidal. Holloway's a monster, but the Vulcan is a beast. We all know about Aldo. He's a monster too. And then you get to Masvidal, probably if not one of the most controversial fighter in the UFC today, maybe outside of John Bones, and we know what the controversy around John is. It's that Dana White, but
Shout out to Rick James. Go ahead.
but this fight card is outstanding in itself. But then the main event, like I've been waiting for this since January, since they ran into each other in January and they were about to pop it off, and Masvidal wanted to smoke because he's high right now. He's coming off the win against Diaz. He's like I said, he's probably the most controversial fighter in the game right now, especially since Conor just retired and Cowboy fell victim to Conor right before he retired. So I mean, aside from Adesanya Israel and John Bones, I mean, Masvidal's right there in terms of highly publicized, like carrying the brand of USC. But let me tell you something, Kamaru Usman. Yo, he's today's version of the Nigerian Nightmare. Yo, that dude, technical ground game is solid, and the knockout power is serious. So that BS jump kick
You don't like the flying knees, man?
Listen,
5-second KO.
it's fastest KO in UFC history. I get it. Between what he did and what McGregor did to Cowboy, two outstanding moves. But you got to understand, if you miss,
Well, like
if
Omar
you
said,
miss,
if you come at the king, you better not miss.
you could be done for a while. And I will say this: you won't see a flying kick in this fight. You
Okay.
won't see a flying knee in this fight because I think that aside from the bad blood between them, which I consider to be a lot of hype, but aside from the bad blood between them, I feel like there's a heavy and high level of respect between both of these guys. And the reason I say that is because like they talked all the stuff in the run up to the fight, but then when both of them was on Joe Rogan, it was nothing but respect for each other. So that's just telling you, like like any given Sunday, any given UFC fight in the octagon, it could be one of your last. So I'm looking forward to every single fight on this card tonight. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna be right in front of my 80-inch with the popcorn, watching the blood fly.
And Ice, man, I did some research on Masvidal, and they got video of him in the backyard with Kimbo Slice
Yeah,
going head up. So the young man is hardened. He's definitely
yeah,
hardened, and he's brought some flair to the league. And we also have to bring into consideration that he wasn't the original fighter for this fight. The guy Burns did test positive for COVID-19, so he did have to drop out of the fight. So he's taking this fight on 6 days' notice. Do you feel like this man has an
But
opportunity
make no mistake
on such
about it,
short
man.
notice?
But make no mistake about it, man. This is the fight people wanted to see anyway. Let's
yeah.
not
Like
let's not even take it away.
this
This is what
been
the people
brewing.
wanted to see. It's
This
been
been
going.
brewing, and the fact that like how you gave Dana White his props, the fact that he pulled this off in 6 days' notice is just phenomenal. You know,
Dana White
like
is a beast.
yeah, like you pull this type of fight that has been wanted for so long in 6 days. Like, I mean, hats off to him. But like, I mean, we need this. Like, if you're a UFC fan, we need this because I mean, we just getting back into the NBA talks, but they're not playing yet. You know, you got the TBT that started up. You know, that's kind of giving me a glimpse of maybe how the NBA and WNBA seasons will look. So that's kind of been okay, but an event like this and the way it's being portrayed, it's on an island. Like, man, you can't ask for nothing better than this. Like, I mean, this is needed for the world. If you're a UFC fan, I suggest you tune in.
It's like
That's a
like the
true bubble
Kumite.
right there. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's like the Kumite.
yeah,
Hey man,
yeah,
shout out to Jim Kelly. What do you say, man? You come straight out of a comic book.
yeah.
Yeah, you
so
gonna you
so
gonna stop with these '70s sayings, bro. This is
hey
not
man,
that.
I'm
This is
showing
not
my
that '70s
age.
show.
I'm showing my age. But D, so the winner of this fight, do you feel like they have anything for John Jones or that guy Israel? Do you feel
First,
like they can contend?
First of all, shout out to my man Gerard, Rise Up affiliate Gerard Mueller. He just said we need to do a recap show, and I'm definitely on board for that. He said I hate a lot of the fake shit with Usman. Masvidal isn't lying. Usman really does have like 17 personalities. I think that you don't. To kind of rebut that, I don't think that you become a iconic mogul in the UFC without being able to have that brand appeal in terms of either being the good guy or the bad guy. If you recall, there were several USC there were several USC fighters that were on their way out, including Kobe, and they changed. They had to make a change to their personality in order to maintain and stay with the brand because just being a great fighter is not good enough anymore. You got to be able to sell the brand. So let's be clear about that. Now, do either one of them have what it takes to put it on Adesanya Israel or John Bones? Well, the weight disparity is going to
No,
be a
you know
factor
the
for.
world gonna beat John Jones.
Well, hold on. Let me get there. Let me get there.
Not so.
The weight disparity between Adesanya and Masvidal would pose a serious threat to Israel, but Israel does not like Masvidal. So I think because of the anger behind that, I think Israel would handle Masvidal. The Israel Usman fight probably would never happen because they so tight, being originally Africans. Even though Israel is from, if I'm not mistaken, from New Zealand or Australia. But John Jones, none of them touching John Jones. Nope, there's not a fighter in the game that could beat John Jones right now.
Not sober.
Not
Nope. Nope.
not
Nope.
it's
Sober or
even
not?
Nah.
sober or not.
I,
There's
Sober
not a
or
fighter.
not?
There's not
hey,
a fighter in.
Listen,
I thought the second DC fight, Daniel Cormier, I thought that was going to be a
are you
better
saying
fight.
he wasn't sober?
Who was
Daniel
no
Cormier.
no, he was sober. John Jones didn't train for the first fight, and that's why the fight lasted so long. But I thought Daniel was going to come in there and keep the pressure on, and John did what John do.
Hey,
So
well,
I mean,
I got you, and
when it
I'm
comes to
glad for the
UFC,
edge.
shout out to Dana White. When it comes there, shout out to Dana White for getting the bag however it can, and shout out to John Jones for doing what he do, no matter what. And I'm, you know where I stand on that.
I got you, and I'm glad y'all educating me because my favorite UFC
facts,
fighter
Gerard.
is Amanda Nunez. So I'm glad you educating me on the men. It seemed like Dana did such a good job of promoting the women. I know the women
Yo,
fighters
shout out
more
to
so than
Amanda
I do the
Nunez.
men.
Shout out to
Shout
her.
Yeah,
out,
I do know
shout
Amanda
out to
Nunes. Shout out
Amanda.
to her.
Oh my God,
yeah,
nobody's touching.
yeah.
Oh,
Nobody's
Amanda,
man.
touching.
Amanda put them
Oh,
Yo,
my
hands on you.
God.
Like
yo,
every time Amanda fight, I feel like it's 3 o'clock after school by the ice cream truck. Like that's the kind of
yo.
hands that she's putting on these
They
ladies,
better
though.
they better
Yeah.
get Clarissa to leave boxing and come over and try to test that because
I
otherwise she
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 don't, I
won't
go
don't
do
know.
that.
Nah,
she
I don't think
she
she want none of that.
That's ugly.
Because
That's
yeah,
Amanda
ugly.
can grapple also. It's like
that's
every
the
time
and
Ronda
that's the
tried to
problem.
grab her, like Amanda just threw her off, like get off me. Like no, Amanda can go to the ground as well. So I wouldn't suggest. I think Clarissa need to keep going for that Ali money, and not deal with that Nunez.
Man, okay,
I'm with
all
you,
right.
Clarissa. Keep getting that Ali. I'm right with you. Keep the
Right.
pressure on
Get
Ali
that money.
neck. She talking crazy. I'm more with the youth. The youth standing tall. Keep the pressure on her neck. All that, oh, it's a
Ali,
bag and
Yep,
all
yep,
that.
yep,
Keep the
yep.
pressure on her neck, Clarissa.
And look, I'm not.
Ali better stay where she at, man.
Yeah,
Facts,
That
yeah,
she
Jared.
don't
yeah.
want that
Facts.
young bull.
Hey,
She
nah,
does not
nah.
want that young
Yeah, so
bull.
calm down with all that. I was being humble and respectful.
Yeah,
But if you want some
yeah.
smoke, you know what's up, right? I'm with Clarissa on this. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I am too. I'm with Clarissa, yo. Like
I'm with
Ali,
Clarissa,
just
man.
chill. Pay homage, man. You 40 plus. It's over with, man.
Yo,
Just yeah,
Yo,
it's
yo,
over with.
I won't. I'm not gonna
I
disrespect.
don't want to see that fight.
I'm not
I
gonna
don't want to see
disrespect
that fight.
anybody with the last name Ali.
I
So,
don't. I'm not being
so I,
disrespectful either.
No,
but
we're
I
not being
also, but I
disrespectful.
also don't want to see Larry Holmes Ali. Uh, with, with
Yeah,
Clarissa Holmes and Layla Ali to jail.
No, no,
Well,
no,
and
I,
listen, guys, I know we've been
no.
having a
We're not.
lot of fun today, and we've been talking spiritedly about a lot of different subjects. But I got to move over to a more serious subject since we're nearing the end of the show. But this week, Deshaun Jackson found himself in a little bit of hot water. Well, actually, a lot of hot water, based upon something that he tweeted. And it's crazy. It's always Twitter that gets people in trouble. But he tweeted a quote that is attributed to Adolf Hitler, and I'm not even sure if Hitler actually said it. This could be one of those things that has grown its own legs, like the Willie Lynch letter. But he said some things, and he got himself in some hot water. He had to make apologies, rightfully so. But what I want is a fresh perspective on this situation. I'm gonna start with you, D. I just want to kind of hear you talk about the tweets. I think we're all in agreement that he did need to apologize, and we happy that he apologized and took the extra step. But D, just talk to me. How do you feel about the comments, and where should stuff like this really be placed?
um,
Correction, he shared it on Instagram, fellas.
My apology. Instagram. We blame Twitter for a lot of things, but go ahead, D.
I want to. I really don't want to talk about this. Um, I feel like
Understand?
I feel like this is a misguided conversation, but because of the fact that if the tables were turned, we would be crucifying some of the opposite our our cross cultural peers. I'm gonna speak on it. Um, and I'm gonna kind of echo what Shannon Sharp said, but not with the same intensity. Uh, I understand what D-Jack was trying to say. If he had posted the quote and highlighted the portion that he was trying to accentuate, he probably wouldn't have caused so much confusion and therefore have received so much backlash. I commend him for the apology and being so receptive to the heavy backlash that he's received, and not being one of those Drew Brees types that don't even want to apologize. And I say that because I still haven't heard an apology from Drew Brees for the shit he said.
Okay.
Um, I I feel as though anytime anytime you are in a state where you are trying to galvanize people together for the purposes of civil rights, social justice, and what have you, your every statement has to be extremely and abundantly clear and concise. I think we learned that through Colin Kaepernick's F up with his depiction of how he viewed Castro. And so, uh, in this scenario, I feel as though D-Jack made a mistake. He's been disciplined, although I don't necessarily know if that discipline is warranted in terms of how large the fine was and in terms of the complexity around it. But make no mistake about it, we are dealing with a double standard here. This is the same organization that allowed Riley Cooper to straight up call motherfuckers the N word because he couldn't get to a Kenny Chesney concert, and then the next year gave him the heavy extension, the heavy bag.
Well,
And
well, I'll say this, D. I think you make some extremely good points, and I will say this. Um, Got to measure my words as well. I'll say the level of influence and power and protective ability that the Anti Defamation League has. I wish that we had an organization that powerful. And if you start off a quote and you choose a human being that's done such atrocities, I don't care who they've done that to, you've already messed up. It's like when at the beginning, when he said Hitler said, all I could see was Bill Duke sitting across the table from Kane talking about, you said you bought the bottle of beer at 11:15. That's all I could see. When he said Hitler said at that point, Bill Duke was talking to him. And in this climate that we're dealing with right now, where you see statues of Confederate leaders coming down, you see people wanting to, I guess, righting symbolic wrongs and different stuff right now. The Anti Defamation League had already established you can't come in here quoting Hitler like you saying something, good. Now, what he was trying to say was trying to galvanize black people and get them to understand, I guess, actual identity. But
He
you
just used the
can't,
wrong person.
yeah, you can't quote
He
Hitler,
used the
man, and
wrong
think it's
person.
That's
okay. You
you
can't do
can't.
it.
You can't.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So Ice, I want you to touch it because I want Courtney to go last on the situation right here.
So with me, okay, yeah, Deshaun, he definitely made a mistake. But to piggyback off Vaughn, like the I'm not looking at Deshaun. I'm looking at the Eagles organization and how they handle this. That's what I'm focusing on, how they handle this, because Riley Cooper, he said the word that that shouldn't be allowed to be said at all. And then the following year he gets the big payday. Like, so the Eagles really are treading water in my eyes. Like how they handled this. If they would have got rid of Deshaun, it would have been some smoke in the city for sure, especially in these day and times. So I'm just waiting to see how Philly handles this situation, how the whole organization handles it, because Deshaun has a lot of great years in Philly, way better than Riley Cooper, if you ask me. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen, in the near future.
Okay, and Julian Edelman posted a video and said some things that a lot of people has been quoting.
I got you,
Courtney,
Herb. I got you on that.
okay, all right. So yeah, Courtney, how do you feel about the Julian Edelman? And because he is Jewish, and he did comment on the situation because it hit home for him.
Cool.
So Courtney, how do you feel
Cool.
about the Julian Edelman
First,
situation?
before we get into Julian Edelman, let's start off with Deshaun Jackson deserved to apologize. He was dead wrong for who he offended, what he quoted, how he was trying to. You got to articulate yourself in this moment of life. You have to articulate. Yeah, it might be tedious to write. Well, I got to explain all that. You know what I meant, but you can't leave anything up for interpretation right now. So, as a man, you got to come out and apologize. I'm glad that Irv and D articulated very precisely what we all feel, because I'm not going to go that far because I don't care to. They just did. I'm not about to repeat what they repeat for you to be comfortable. Here's my issue. Deshaun apologized, and he's apologized again and again, and he's had a video chat with a Holocaust survivor, which is dope. And I hope they had a very dope conversation and they both learned from each other, or Deshaun learned something, and that's all good. The problem I have is, why does Deshaun have to apologize so much? Like, okay, I said the wrong thing. I should have explained better. This is what I meant, and that's it. Julian Edelman with his video of how he feel, and it hit home, and let's go to the museum and you visit mine and I visit yours and we go eat. And that's a dope idea to move forward and understand each other. Julian, where the fuck you been the last 7 years, homeboy? It just hit home for you, so it matters now? Now you want to go learn? You've been quietly learning for a long time, brother. Like, it's been a lot going on, Julian. Welcome to the party of learning. We've been trying to get people to learn forever. Make it a field trip. Bring every Jewish friend you got that's close to you. Deshaun, you bring on your back. Like, make it a party now. Since all of a sudden you ready to have a meeting. You ready to talk about something? I don't recall. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Do anybody recall Julian Edelman in the last 5 years, 7 years?
Mm-mm.
No?
No,
Statement?
not at all.
Any
Not at all.
interview? Any conversation between him and his fellow black teammates? No?
Not at all.
Okay,
Not
cool.
not at
So
all.
I'm not into Deshaun having to drag this out like that. Like,
I don't even recall Julian taking a knee when the social justice thing first started.
Okay, do anybody? Okay, cool. So, like, I'm not all that, Deshaun. You can't say it because you got to be the responsible one. I can say it, Julian. Man, go get your own burger, man. Ain't nobody think about your burgers, homeboy. Nobody. Look, man, we know how to do our own research. History, man, we're gonna find out. He spoke to a Holocaust dude. Ain't nobody.
But the pushback a little bit, Courtney. What Julian was basically saying was like, look, man, obviously people do have to learn more about this situation, and he said, you know what, we'll do this together. I know D-Jack personally. He spoke to D-Jack's character and said D-Jack wasn't a bad person. He was like, hey, let's go rock together. So yeah, how could that be such a bad thing
It's
that
not
Julian said
what
that?
I'm saying. It's not
Yo,
a bad
stop, stop. TC Casey, shut the fuck up. Ain't nobody deflect. Everybody on this goddamn panel has said that Deshaun Jackson was wrong
I don't
and
care.
that he
I
owed an
didn't even read the
apology.
comment.
So shut the hell up.
I didn't even read the comment. I'm good with it. However, anybody feels about it.
Nobody's
I'm
deflecting.
not deflecting at all. I already said he needed to apologize. He did the right thing by being a man and apologize. And I said that he don't have to go
He's
through this
apologized.
He doesn't have to
They
go through
counted
this
how many
entire
times he's
spiel,
apologized.
man.
He's
I don't.
apologized 17 times. 17 times he's gone on the record and apologized. What else do you want?
Like, I'm not doing all that. Y'all didn't ask Drew Brees to go talk to survivors of segregation and all. Like everybody didn't have to do all of this to apologize. Everybody got to apologize respectfully, express what they truly meant, and move forward from there, whether the media liked it or disliked it. Everybody had their route of doing that. This whole thing he got to go through to emphasize is a little much for me, man.
Like I
That's
said in
my
the
personal
beginning,
opinion, and nobody can change that for me because as a man, you are allowed to clarify yourself, apologize, make it known that, I will do the research and the history more. This is not what I meant. Anybody I offended, I didn't mean to offend you. And you can selectively do it on your route. But all these people jumping out the window, anybody in the comments that feel like I'm having pushback, tell me the time you heard Julian Edelman speak on the issues we've been speaking on publicly the last 5 years. If you can't, miss me with all this. It touched you. Because it's only touching you because it was about yours. It didn't touch you on some people shit. Miss me with the people shit. Because the people, we've been needing you as a people. Like, miss me with the people shit.
Everybody else
Come on,
gets
man.
to get an apology.
Yeah.
When it's against the alphabet boys, the LGBTQ community, everybody has to apologize 50 million times. When it's against the Jewish community, everybody has to apologize 50 million times. If you say something against women, oh my God, Me Too is coming for you. Cancel culture. Everybody has to apologize 50 million times. But the minute somebody says nigga, we don't get a goddamn thing. Miss me with the bullshit.
FCC, please forgive us. Thank you.
I didn't say the word, and because he broke the FCC code.
FCC, please forgive us. I think we, this subject is definitely a sensitive subject.
No, it's not sensitive. And let me.
It is for me.
Let me emphasize again. Let me emphasize one more time. Just in case I get clips. Deshaun Jackson was wrong. Deshaun Jackson deserved to apologize and make it well known how wrong he was. I'm just not with an 1,000 apologies and videos and
Yeah,
all
right.
this
Yeah,
shit. I'm
Well, I
not.
think
Like, that's a
I,
lot, man. That's a lot, man. Like, it's a lot.
I think that speaks to the power of perception, perspective, and like I said, I wish we had an organization as
I love
powerful
everybody,
and as influential as the Anti Defamation League. Shout out to them and their ability to protect their people and the perception of their people.
hey
But
man. Colin Kaepernick
I'm
still
gonna
looking
move
for
on from this.
apologies.
I'm gonna move on from this topic.
We need to move on because I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm telling you,
I
I'm not
got you.
done.
That might be something for Talk of the Town, and
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anybody who's
Yeah,
watching the show,
yeah,
please tune in to Talk of the Town. That also is an affiliate of the Rise Up Sports Family television network. But last subject, we almost coming to the end. We still dealing with this COVID thing, man. It's crazy. It's like the MLS has had, crazy. Like we talk about the NBA bubble and we talk about players, like individual players, actually deciding to stay home and not come. In MLS, we've had teams, whole teams, drop out. My question here, and I'm gonna start with Ice on this one: should MLS just go ahead and cancel this whole season, or do you feel like that they could continue on if we seeing teams actually drop out?
I mean they can continue on, but I mean in my opinion, they should just scratch it because I mean like you losing team after team every day, so it's like man, like how much more do you really want to put these people in harm's way? You know, like you said, I can see if it was players refusing to play, but an entire organization like that speaks volumes. So I believe they should just scratch the season and just prepare for next year, or they can push it back like how the NBA did. Like you can push it back, stuff gets a little better, then you pick it back up. You know?
Go.
So yeah. Like soccer ain't going nowhere. Soccer's the biggest sport in the world. Like
Hey,
they not hurting. They're not hurting at all. That's
MLS
why.
said MLS said if Dana White could get the bag in Dubai, we out here playing football, man.
Man, for real. That's
Hey
what he's
man,
saying. And
that's what they saying.
you got entire organizations just saying, nah, we good. We got our bread. Like they probably they got enough bread to pay them still.
I'm not
Like they
being funny
probably
when I
still
say
get
this.
paid.
I'm not being funny when I say this at all, y'all. It's gonna sound funny, but I'm not being funny when I say this at all, y'all. All this is not to be funny on COVID, but all the things in the air in these different countries, in the different diseases and illnesses that travel, the way these soccer venues be packed, and the way
Man,
soccer is, MLS just not. It just looked from a distance, going, bro. We done played
no,
through
it's a
everything,
force.
man. Like, am I wrong?
I mean,
It's a
you're
force.
not wrong at all. But professional, I
It's a
want you to
force,
comment on
man.
this one because it's like once again, this is not just players dropping out,
It's
whole
a whole organization.
organizations.
Yeah,
So
it's different.
And just to be clear, we over our time. So let's wrap it up. I'm gonna say this. And first of all, Donovan Samuels, this is an Argentina jersey, Barca jersey. It's an Argentina jersey and it's a Messi jersey. So back the hell up out of the comment section talking that foolishness, talking about Man City. All right, that's first and foremost. That's first and foremost. Second of all, TCKC. What the question was, where was Julian Edelman when all of this? If you got the audacity to speak out now, then you should have been speaking out when we started going through our social justice back and forth. The point that Courtney was trying to make is you don't just get to speak out on these issues when it's convenient for you. That's the point. Okay? I'm not gonna go back into where I was because I understand I was in my emotional bag, so I'm drawing it back a little bit. I'm drawing it back a little bit.
shout out to the FCC. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, with that being said, uh, and no, Drew Brees didn't apologize. With that being said, yeah, they should can the season. Number one, I've been saying this for the last couple weeks, man. uh, you have to make life decisions and not make finances the major catalyst in your life decision. Point blank, period. If finances are the only thing that you think about, then you have some serious soul searching to do.
Mm.
I, me and Courtney talked about this. I think that baseball should have canceled the season, and the owner shouldn't be held accountable to pay these boys for this year. Y'all want to complain about safety? Then be safe, make the right decision, and tell the owners y'all keep your money for a season.
Hey,
Be there needs to be mutual accountability here.
it's mutual.
Everybody needs to be safe. But
I
the
think I
minute you
think I think that's a T-shirt, D. I think
Yo,
that's a T-shirt. It needs to be mutual
mutual accountability.
accountability. That's a
Yeah.
T-shirt. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead, brother.
everybody needs to be safe. The simple fact that we talked about last week that Adam Silver talking about, I want y'all to play, but I'm not going to be there. Yo, I wanted to smack the crap out of dude, and I got a high level of respect for Adam Silver. But how
Why?
dare you, sir?
I missed that part of the discussion last week, and why are we so mad at Adam? Hey, Adam said I got business to handle
How,
outside of y'all. If it was a regular season, I wouldn't have been with y'all for 3 months. I ain't gonna be with y'all for 3 months now, player. I catch you when
nah,
I catch you, playboy.
nah, pimp, because you can't solicit.
Birdman hands,
You
man.
can't solicit. Now it is on the players to say no, but you then cannot solicit them to say, hey man, we got to make this money. Hey,
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 hey, D. I gave you a choice if you wanted to go or stay. You
You,
made your choice,
you
player.
made a
Don't be
choice.
mad at my choice.
Well, look,
Don't be
guys,
mad at
guys,
my
we, we've
choices,
we've
man.
had a very spirited and energized show, but we are over our time. So for
Fact.
people that have been watching and
We appreciate
sticking
you.
with us, thank you so much. You have been watching Fresh Perspective, and I definitely want to shout out the Rise Up Sports family again, On Point Television again. We are coming along to our final perspective. You know what, D? You've been on fire. You get to go last
no,
today.
okay, all right, go
I'm
ahead.
a, I'm a, I'm a start. I'm gonna start with Courtney, man. Talk to me. What's your final perspective today?
Life is good. You know, everybody enjoy yourself, man. Say how you feel. Be careful with how you say what you feel. But just do me a favor out here, y'all. This is for everybody. Sports players, executives. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Say it with your
Mhm.
chest, player. All this. I said it. I apologize. No, you know, we all know the characters when you write and we see it. Like we all got smartphones. We know what we saying. Think about it,
Yeah.
register, clarify yourself, and stand on that shit, man. Everybody, right outside. I'm sorry. It's becoming a trend. It's almost like I'm starting to see people wanting to get canceled to get support from the other side. So people just throwing themselves to the fire right now, thinking it's going to bring sales. Like this is not a marketing pitch, y'all. Like for
Yeah.
real. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. And so Ice, gotta go with the Ice Man. The Ice Man cometh. Talk to me, man. What's your
Hey.
final perspective?
Man, I'm glad to be back. I missed last week, but
Glad
glad
to
to be
have you
back on
back.
the show. Glad to have an entertaining show today. My final perspective goes to these comments, man. You got Tom Casey and Sharon. Like I appreciate y'all tuning in and stuff, but my opinion, y'all just
Hey, we
everybody's
can't. We
entitled to their
don't diss the
opinion.
fans, Ice.
Don't,
Ah,
beautiful
hey,
job,
Don't
listen,
diss
beautiful
the
listen,
job.
fans,
Keep the
listen,
Ice.
comments flowing. Keep
listen.
the conversation going.
Let me
Look,
be clear. TC Casey's a good guy, man, but he get it
hey,
wrong. He get it wrong sometimes. Today you got it wrong. He got it wrong today.
I, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna diss them. I'm not gonna diss them. I'm just gonna say, I appreciate y'all tuning in, voicing y'all opinions, but I just can't agree with neither one of y'all. I mean, I'm in this business as far as the sports business, being a sports agent. So, selling your soul, like, nah, these kids work hard, for what they deserve. Like it's about knowing your worth. You have to know your worth. Like so, it's not about selling your soul. Like I said, the parents and some of the coaches are getting hip to the game. At such a young age with these kids. So just shout out to y'all and shout out to everybody. Continue to stay safe. Wherever you are in the country. I salute y'all.
Hey
All
man,
right.
I love it all, baby. Call it selling your soul, call it moral. I don't care what you call it. Just call it paid, baby. Call it paid.
Yeah.
Now, I guess my final perspective. I'll try and keep it quick because I know D is going to cook today. But I just like to say in this pursuit that that we're all pursuing. I think Courtney said it best, man, and I don't even he quoted it today, but I don't even know if he realized what he was saying when he said it. But the road to us curing what ails us as human beings and in the society, it is a multi-lane highway. We're all not necessarily going to play the same role, but each role is important. You know, everybody's not a point guard on the court. Everybody's not a center on the court. Everybody has a role to play. And as we make statements, especially when we either make it on social media or you can't necessarily. It's tough when you're making those because people don't hear the voice inflection, people don't see the body language or anything like that. And we got to be careful what we say, guys, because everybody knows what they say about the road to hell. And it's not necessarily about the intentions, it's about what you say, and it is how it's taken. That's very important, especially when you're using social media. And a good rule of thumb, let's not quote mass murderers. Let's not quote,
Absolutely not.
negative,
Absolutely not.
controversial characters and
Yeah.
trying to galvanize each other. Let's continue to, push Black Lives Matter. But as we do that, we don't want to roll back other protections that other people have fought for and gotten. So everybody, when we make our statements, let's be thoughtful and mindful when we say what we have to say. But that's my final perspective. Now, D, bring us home. What's your final perspective?
All right, man. First of all, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Sharon Mullen, TC Casey, Ernest Alice, Ramona Dye, um,
Love Ramona.
Gerard
Thank you.
Mueller, Donovan Samuels, Andre the Torch Robinson, our partner, brother, and friend. Um, uh, Big Ahmed King, everybody that has tuned in. If I missed you, charges in my head and not my heart, man. Please. Today has been incredible. I appreciate all of the commentary. I appreciate all the likes and shares. Please make sure you subscribe to the Fresh Perspective page. Now, with that being said, um, I'm directing my comments directly towards you, TC Casey.
Please don't.
So make sure you listen closely. For the last 4 years, we've been talking about all lives matter. When it only seems like the only lives that don't matter are ours, black people. And then on yesterday or day before yesterday, there were comments made about the Jewish community, repeated comments made about the Jewish community. And when I say repeated, I mean a quote that was put out there that was reposted about the Jewish community, and everybody set on fire. 3 years ago, there was comments made about the LGBT community through Kevin Hart, and everybody was set on fire. Bill Cosby went nuts, and everybody was set on fire. All of those are comments. Black people getting killed. Where is the freaking fire? Y'all concerned about a flag. We concerned about bloodshed. So while you're sitting up there screaming all lives matter, make sure ours do too when you screaming it out. I am of the proponent of not segregating progress. We talk about it in private, and I'm not afraid to talk about it in public. We cannot make this happen without our cultural counterparts, those who lack melanin, my white brothers and sisters. We can't make change in sports, in business, in society without one another. So when we make statements like what D-Jack did, it puts us in a place where the anger oftentimes prevents the educated conversation, and that has to stop. I said I commended D-Jack for what he did in terms of being receptive, because oftentimes, including our POTUS, when things are being said with malicious intent behind them, there is no reception or conversation to follow. But in D-Jack's case, and in a lot of other cases, they're being receptive to the conversation to try to truly understand why they were wrong. TC Casey, Andre the Torch Robinson, Marcus Betts, we had one of those conversations. Do you remember that, TC? So At the end of the day, the point that we need to understand here is segregating progress is never going to help us. And stop allowing your life decisions to be solely financially motivated. Because at the end of the day, this country has been doing that for centuries. Irv just got through talking about not allowing or not quoting mass murderers and people who commit genocide, not quoting them as you try to get your point across. So stop quoting George Washington. Stop quoting some of our forefathers. They took part in that. Robert E. Lee. Stop quoting them. Stop standing on a point that doesn't have good foundation. And with that being said, that is my freshest perspective. I'm D. Stanfield. You have been listening to Fresh Perspective Sports. I'm here with my boy Irv, Goldie Hawkins, Courtney, young and talented Denzel Chappelle, and my man Amir Ice. Shout out to my boy 2.0. Glad you weren't here to totally decimate our entire relationship with all the women in this world. And I want everybody to have a great night.
You know how we do it, guys. Peace and blessings, world.